Long ago, in a land nestled between snow-capped mountains and sprawling forests, there was a legend whispered among villagers. They spoke of a train that came not from steel and smoke, but from starlight and whispers. It had no schedule, no stations, and no tracks, yet it always seemed to know where it was needed most. The people called it the Everlight Express, though no one truly knew its name. The train was said to glide silently through the night, its wheels humming a melody softer than the breeze. Its whistle wasn't a shriek but a lullaby, one that carried a bittersweet promise. Step aboard, and your life will never be the same. Ilara was a dreamer. A quiet girl of 16 with hair as dark as midnight and eyes that reflected the glimmer of distant stars, she often felt out of place in her small village. She loved her home, a patchwork of cobbled streets and flower-filled meadows, but she longed for more. Ilara spent her days caring for her ailing father and sewing clothes for the townsfolk, but her nights were filled with whispered wishes to the stars. "Take me somewhere," she would plead to the heavens. "Anywhere but here." One crisp autumn evening, as Ilara wandered along an old, forgotten railway behind her house, she saw something she couldn't believe. The air shimmered like heat rising from a summer road, and from the horizon came the soft hum of a train's wheels. The sound was both strange and familiar, like a lullaby she'd heard in a dream. Through the mist, it appeared. The train glowed faintly, as though lit from within by the light of the stars themselves. Its carriages were sleek and silver, with glass windows that sparkled like diamonds. As it slowed to a stop, the doors slid open with a soft hiss. Ilara hesitated. She had heard the stories. The train took passengers on journeys they could never forget, but it was said to return only those who found what they truly sought. The train would choose who could board, and not everyone returned. But something deep inside her stirred. This was what she had wished for. Heart pounding, Ilara stepped inside. The interior of the train was unlike anything Ilara had imagined. The first car was a lush garden, filled with trees whose leaves shimmered gold and silver. Flowers bloomed in colors she had no name for, and their petals whispered softly as she passed. "Welcome, traveler," said a deep voice. Startled, Ilara turned to see the conductor. He was a tall man dressed in an old-fashioned uniform with buttons that seemed to glow faintly. His face was kind, but his eyes held an otherworldly wisdom. "You've boarded the Everlight Express," he said. "Here, you will find what your heart seeks, if you're brave enough to look for it." As the train began to move, Ilara met the other passengers. Corinne, a boy about her age, shy and soft-spoken, who carried a small satchel of broken toys. He was searching for the courage to face a challenge back home. Aldar, an elder with a weary smile, who spoke of wanting to relive a single day from his youth. Mira, a quiet woman who carried an empty picture frame. She wouldn't say what she was looking for, only that she hoped to find it before the journey ended. Each car held a new wonder. A library filled with books that held the stories of their lives, past, present, and future. A dining car that served meals so perfect they brought back the sweetest memories of childhood. A starry observatory where the ceiling became a vast sky, showing constellations that danced and sang. As days turned into nights aboard the train, Ilara began to notice something strange. The train wasn't just taking her to magical places, it was showing her things about herself. In the garden car, she heard whispers from the flowers, reminding her of dreams she had buried. In the library, she found a book with blank pages, the story of her future, waiting for her to write it. One night, the conductor approached her. "The train has taken you far, Elara. But your journey isn't complete." The train slowed, and Elara looked out the window. They had arrived at a place unlike any she had ever seen, a shimmering expanse of starlit fields, where glowing pathways twisted and turned in every direction. "This is the crossroads," the conductor explained. "Here, you must decide. Return to your old life with what you've learned, or step into the unknown and create something new. But beware, every choice has a cost." Elara hesitated. She thought of her father, her village, and the life she would leave behind. But she also thought of the stars, the dreams she had once dared to dream, and the strange, wonderful friends she had made on the train. "What lies beyond the crossroads?" she asked. The conductor smiled. "Only what you choose to build." With a deep breath, Elara stepped off the train and onto the glowing path ahead. The Everlight Express let out one last, soft whistle, then disappeared into the night. Years later, the villagers told stories of a mysterious train that had visited their town. Some claimed to have seen it, others dismissed it as myth. But none could deny the change in Elara. She had returned, but she was no longer the quiet, uncertain girl they had known. She had become a storyteller, weaving tales of courage and wonder that inspired everyone around her. And though she never spoke of the train, there were nights when she would look to the horizon, listening for the soft hum of wheels and the lullaby of its whistle, and smile. Because deep down she knew the Everlight Express was still out there, waiting for the next dreamer to board.